Hello, KCIW listeners, and welcome to Curry Café. I'm volunteer Rick McNamer with normally your host, Ray Gary, KCIW's famous radio personality and influencer. Unfortunately, Ray is out ill for the first time in 124 shows. Our Lou Gehrig never fails to not show up, but he's not feeling well. And Ray, I wish you were here, and we're wishing you well. And at Curry Café, we put together a panel of guests to discuss topics of interest in our community. Listeners can participate in our show by texting in questions or comments to 541-661-4098. Again, that's 541-661-4098. Before we begin, I would like to let our listeners know that KCIW is an all-volunteer community radio station that depends on our volunteers, sponsors, underwriters, and local businesses with their generous donations to keep us on the air. If you'd like to help us out, please go to kciw.org. And speaking of support from our local businesses, KCIW and Curry Café would like to thank our sponsor, Z Clean Laundry, located at 1107 Chetco Avenue here in Brookings. Z Clean will wash and fold your laundry within 2 to 3 days after drop-off and will rush the order if you need it sooner. They also handle large loads like comforters. They offer dry cleaning and can handle linen services also. KCIW appreciates and thanks Z Clean for their generous support for community radio. So like I said, I'm flying solo today. I'm the JV team, but I feel very lucky to have the guests that we have here today from Wild Rivers Film Festival. And I'll just go around the table and you ladies can introduce yourself and what's going on with Wild Rivers.
Thank you so much. My name is Bev Juday, and I'm the current president of the Wild Rivers Film Festival. And I've been on our board since its inception. I've known Sue for quite a while as our founder, and I'll turn it over to Sue next.
And I'm Sue Wright, one of the founders, one of the original board members for the Wild Rivers Film Festival, along with Bev and Kat Liddell and Judy May Lopez, Dan Springen, just a whole host of us, Mark Gautreau. Bev and I are now the last of the original board members, but we have a fabulous group of executive board members and advisory board members now that just made our 4th annual Wild Rivers Film Festival sing.
They really did. It's a dynamic team, and just like you mentioned, Rick, you guys are all volunteer. So are we. It's a working board. And so you have to get out there and sometimes pound the streets. We have to pick up signs, hang signs. We move furniture down the block, if you saw us this last week. We do just about everything. Yes, that was us.
Right on. Right.
And we probably should shout out to Barron's, too, because Barron's brought the patio furniture that we had on the deck for our happy hour and a place for our filmmakers and VIPs to congregate and relax and chat and just...
It really transformed that space.
Yes.
And what's that, the open space there? What's that
we
called?
call it the Pocket Park.
Pocket Park, which I attended, and it was fantastic. And you're right, it's a great little place, man.
Yeah, it looked, with Barron's furniture in there, it looked super upscale. And everybody was so comfortable.
Oh, it was great. Felt like hobnobbing with the elite over there.
That's what it felt like. Our film directors and
it was great.
aficionados, they all gathered there. It was just the perfect location. Restaurants were close by. The movie theater was close by.
Bar was right there.
Yes, everything they needed was right there.
It was great. And before we get into it, I think a lot of congratulations and celebrations are at hand because this was a great film festival this year. And today is also a special day because it's Sue Wright's 70th birthday. I was allowed to mention that.
I've joined the 70 Club.
Oh, I've been there for a while. It's great.
And I'm planning on enjoying it.
Good for you.
And
Good for you.
I will let the cat out of the bag because Rick and I have planned a South Pacific cruise for September to celebrate
our... How cool is that?
That sounds
My
like
husband
fun.
also turned 70 in June.
Oh, that's right.
And this
Recently.
is we're going to celebrate
it.
it.
Seventh decade.
Yes.
Welcome.
With our first ever cruise
And-
on the
and-
Royal Caribbean.
Oh, you're going to
where-
love it.
Where are you going exactly?
We are going from LA to Honolulu to Polynesia to Brisbane, Australia.
Boy, is that a bucket
That's a
list
great
for me.
cruise.
And my husband
Beautiful.
has not been, I've never been to Australia, and my husband has not been there for 45 years. So he's looking forward
Wow.
to
Wow.
going back and catching up with some of his friends who are now in their 70s too.
I especially like cruising because you don't have to pack your things up and change hotels. And you always know that no matter where you are, you have a good meal waiting for you back on the ship, no matter where you are.
I am so looking forward to not having to cook for 6 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, that's the best of it.
Will we recognize you guys when you come back?
I hope so.
I've been on a cruise myself, and it was like, oh, man, you want a burger? Yeah, I'll have a burger right now. Yeah, it's
They're going to come back tan.
We have made a commitment to eating healthy, fresh, and
good for you.
you know, we spent a month in Italy.
That's
and
right. You just
really
got back from there.
Yes. Between all the walking we did and the meals that are smaller and fresher and less fat, I lost inches. So I
Good for you.
hope. And then, you know, we had the movie The 100-Year Effect, which also
Boy, yeah, that's one that I did see, too.
emphasizes nutrition.
It
so
does.
we're making a commitment to that.
I love it. That was one of my favorite films.
And mine. One of mine, too. Oh, boy, again, the thought came and then left. Well, in Europe, now I've never been to Europe. I was over in the Southeast Asia part, and the eating habits are a lot different over there, aren't they? I mean, we're the big gulp triple burgers.
No
Yes.
kidding.
I've
They're a lot
partaken
smaller.
too many times, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
We should
really different.
take a lesson.
Even, I mean, you can get Coca-Cola almost anywhere, but they serve it in the 6-ounce bottles.
Oh, wow. It's just like a shot
Or
glass.
the tiny little cans.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought that it was a lot less sweet,
It's a lot less.
no matter what you were eating or drinking, even if it was pastries. They didn't taste as sugary as what ours are.
No.
I've been experienced that a little bit, believe it or not, with some Mexican pastries. They call them pan dulces, I believe, and they're not so sugary, but they're delicious. You know, I guess we should get more used to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it'd be nice to cut the sugar down, if not all the way out.
Right. That's impossible, I think. But anyway, for me. Well, and then back to the celebration times, along with Sue's 70th. This film festival was, I believe, the most heavily attended.
I believe we doubled our attendance this year. And
That's
the library probably had an average of 18 people at, you know, somewhere between 8 and 30. So I think it averaged out about 18. I talked with Aidan Lyle, who ran the Chetco Pelican Player with the shorts, and he said they had about the same attendance there. And I know that the small theater at the Redwood was full on several occasions.
No seating left.
And we had more than
Right.
80 for our opening night with the
the
100-year
100-year,
effect.
yes.
Yeah.
That one it looked a lot fuller than last year.
Yes, the
I
big
will say
theater
that.
still didn't look full, but it
but-
was comfortable.
Right.
And you know what makes that especially exciting, I think, is that every film we had played 3 times. So when you think about filling your theater with that many people every time, it's incredible. We had 30 films, show 3 times. That's 90 films.
Screenings.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah. And I do know my favorite film was, I keep forgetting the name of it, at the Columbia River outlet.
Oh, Taming the Mouth
Taming the
has
Mouth.
such
Yes.
a
I
good
had tried
title.
to come up. I thought so, and I keep forgetting it, but that was my favorite. And I did see it in the smaller Redwood, and it was packed,
Yes.
which was cool. And then the director and the producer did a little Q&A afterwards, and it was wonderful. That
They were so engaging.
they were engaging, and one of my favorite parts of that, well, a couple things. They had to kick us out for the Q&A because we had to get ready for the next movie, and everybody was just like still peppering them with questions. But I think his name is it Brent Eichenberger or something Eichenberger? I'm sorry,
Yes,
I
I
forgot.
believe that's right.
Brett, thank you. Our super sound engineer, Michael. I appreciate that. his passion, and the lady too. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. Their passion, but Brett was talking about. There was part of that where he went to the mouth of the Columbia River, and he teared up. It was so, and you could tell this. Both of them were just so involved in this documentary, and I just it was beautiful. The scenery was magnificent. And I know a little bit. I've never been to Astoria, unfortunately, but I've been along the 84 the Columbia River Gorge because my dad lived in the Dalles, and that's just beautiful.
I heard a lot of people saying who watched that as they came out, it made them want to go to Astoria.
I love Astoria. I have one of my dearest friends was licensed skipper out of Astoria, who they were talking about how rough it is because I think our bar here at the Chetco is rough and dangerous, but nothing compared
I
to
had
that
no
one.
idea that there were that many shipwrecks, and the way they described, and I'm not a marine biologist, but the tide and where it meets you, it was pretty amazing, And of course, I also love they talked about building the jetty with this heavy equipment, and I've done that with some railroad work, and that had me mesmerized
Wasn't
too.
that
Watching those big
amazing?
excavators, I thought, man, I'd like to pay those people just to let me run that for like a half an hour.
Those huge trucks with one rock on that truck, and then that special crane to take that one rock and place it specifically.
Yeah.
It was interesting how the technology changed over
Yes, it
time
was.
from running a car out on a rail and then tipping it over and filling it in to now they've built a road on top of the jetty and they
have to
that crane and place
build it every year because of the rough. I mean, it was an amazing. There's so many wonderful movies. I know that just was my favorite, and I don't want to dominate by talking about only one movie, but yeah.
They were quite engaging. They're professional filmmakers. They make commercials, but this was their passion project, and you could tell.
Well, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell. So if you're out there, and if you went to the Wild Rivers Film Fest, if you didn't, boy, you were missing out on a good time. But text in 541-661-4098. So, God, I know there was going to be 100 people to thank, and we could take up the whole hour doing that. I just I'll bring up a few that I'll talk about. Kat Liddell.
Yes.
Her interviews.
Oh, my goodness.
How many people did she interview? And I think Michael filmed most of them, if I'm not mistaken. That was a big part of that whole show. And Kat, she looks like she could be on national TV.
She could.
She's very poised and comfortable.
Yeah, she is.
She did interviews on the red carpet. So when our filmmakers arrived the first night, and then she did filmmakers on the red carpet after the awards ceremony. So our filmmakers knew what they'd won, and they had their trophies. And I have to shout out to Jasmine Spring.
Beautiful.
Jazzy.
Yes.
Those trophies
glass.
were awesome.
They're fabulous.
Yes.
They are so special. Talking about passion again, that glass art is her passion in making those trophies for the Wild River Film Festival. It's a passion project.
Passion. I think that was throughout this whole film festival with everybody.
do too.
And you could sense it, man. It was, that was pretty electric.
They weren't just your off-the-shelf trophies. These were actually signed and numbered pieces of art.
Yeah, beautiful.
So,
and I saw some of the filmmakers carrying them around like children. They were like, putting them out for everybody to see and then holding them so close to their chest, like I don't want to damage it.
Well, that was beautiful. Hey, we got a text. Well, look out, and thank you, texter. So the texter says, will any of the shorts be shown at Art Walk in the future? Will shorts or other movies be shown at the library?
yes, our plan is to keep showing shorts at the Art Walk.
Rose.
Yeah, at Compass Rose at the Art Walk. Because it's such a good place to talk about the filmmaking, about film as art.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
and
we have a growing number of filmmakers locally. And,
yes.
Our young people who are doing the film workshops. And so it's good to keep talking about filmmaking.
Oh, yes, for sure. Now, The workshops, they didn't happen this year.
Yet.
Yet. They're still in the works.
We still have some months to go.
Well, duh.
It's only August.
I know.
We're a very dedicated group.
No, but that's good. And I, for some reason, I just thought, well, maybe they're going to be worked on for next year. But you're talking, they could happen very soon or sooner than.
We're talking a little bit about our timing.
Okay.
Because especially this year, the schools really rearranged their schedules for when the kids, first of all, the kids got out really early. They got out around June 5th. And then all the sport activities, the football camp, the cheer camp, baseball camp, basketball camp, they were all started the end of July. And so we were in competition with when we would have our students available because so many are doing after-school activities. So our summer was really, it was snagged up really quick. And so we looked at what other time could we take, and we thought maybe we'll go right after the film festival, but school's starting back up already.
Okay. Well, you're maneuvering everything around to make it happen.
We are.
So
Wonderful.
we are going to be polling the families that registered to see which of the school breaks fall, winter or spring breaks might work best.
Okay. So the kids are not forgotten because I know that was a big part of everything.
Not.
No.
Our goal is still to create a local studio where they can come in and work on projects on a regular basis.
Wow. And boy, the text line's heating up here. So let me read it. And this one's from our own Mr. Troy Leah. Shout out to Troy, who has his own show here, Rainbow Connection. Troy says, okay, well, I did attend the festival and truly had a wonderful time. The whole weekend, wonderful being my favorite. Plus, just getting back from Paris. I agree, the food is amazing. On a side note, Wowzer being my favorite. Okay, Troy, thanks. Very cool.
Wowzer was one of several local films this year, and I was so excited that we had at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head that were local films, and then several that were regional. So The Outcast at Sanger Lake is just over near Cave Junction. And then we had Annie Packard, which is my favorite. And that was from the Ashland area. So,
Well,
It adds to the excitement when the filmmakers are there. And then it makes it even more special when they're local. And people say, I know her, I know him.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Another text I'm going to read. It says that, believe me, we love, especially when I'm flying solo, they make it easier for me. So the texter says, how does the film festival find the movies?
Oh, that's a great question.
It is. Yeah.
So the film festival is on Film Freeway. And our first year here, Dan Springen, who's the executive director of Orlando Film Festival, curated all the films for us. So we didn't yet have a stream of filmmakers submitting to us. So he brought all the films. It was the film festival in a box.
Okay.
Since then, we've been growing our reach to filmmakers every year. We have filmmakers here, and they talk to filmmakers, and sometimes they come back with a new project, and they get excited about us. This year, almost all of the films were submitted directly to Wild Rivers Film Festival through our Film Freeway. And
That's exciting.
Yes.
That means we have a reputation that's positive.
Yay.
And filmmakers actually want to come here.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Not surprising.
The 100-Year Effect, the producer for that, Bill Stewart, who's out of L.A., contacted us and said, I think our film fits your mission.
Wow.
And I said, we took a look at it and we said, yeah, that's exciting. It does.
You know, you mentioned Dan Springen. He's been on the show. We've had him on the show, I think, one time. And he's been on Jacques and Doc. And he's quite the guy.
Yes.
He's another one like you ladies. We can, as hosts for the radio show, we just kind of sit back and say, it's all yours, man. Take over. But let's, if you don't, well, I'm sure you won't mind, tell kind of the Wild Rivers Film Festival whole story from, this is the 4th year.
This is
And, how it all started and how Sue, you went back to Orlando. Orlando, did you also go?
I
Beth?
did, yes.
Both of
That
you.
was we took 14 of our cast and crew from A Small Town Nutcracker Story to Orlando
Boy, that's another
for the Orlando
great
Film Festival, and we actually the actors went in costume, and we made quite a splash there.
We
And-
did.
yeah, and
That's
then
huge.
we won the Cast Ensemble Award, and that's we talked with Dan at the after party and said, we'd love to have a film festival in Brookings, Oregon, but we don't know how to make that happen. Would you help us? And he said, sure.
And it took off from there.
It did.
Yeah.
This was year 4, and just dramatically different from year 1. Year 1 was great, and everybody loved it, and there were lots of accolades, and the community felt like, wow, we have a film festival. This is great.
Some of them did. Some of them kept saying, what's a film
What is it?
festival?
Well, right. Again, I wasn't around for the first 2, but was the second or the third, and then this year. But that's changing.
Yes.
Big
Oh,
time.
Absolutely. Yes.
We had so many compliments this year. And there were still people who said, what's a film festival? But for the most part, we had a lot of repeat attendees who had already been here
and
once
they're-
who said, we come back every year.
Right. The most common question this year is, when is your schedule going to be up on the website?
For next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
that's
I'm
pretty
champing
good.
at the bit to buy my VIP ticket also for next year. So
Excellent.
yeah, that's to me, it was the only way to go.
Yep. So we have grown with how we deal with our film festival, how we present it to the community, and the involvement every single year. I think this was our most successful year in
True.
that we all understood what we were doing. We had done it once or twice already, and we improved on every single delivery that we had.
It seemed to flow pretty good to me,
Yes.
and just God, movies all day long for 3 days anyway.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, there is a movie on that initial kickoff day, the grand opening, or
Yes, right.
the premiere showing.
The 100-year effect.
Yes,
Right. And that was awesome too. And it was great to see our own at the interview with Dr. Gigi up on stage also
yes,
joining in on.
And Dr. John Kirk from Crescent City.
Oh, I forgot that.
He's been another great supporter of the film festival.
Good.
he has.
Good.
We had Amanda Whitmore out there in the Pocket Park. She was doing her yoga moves out
Yeah.
there on the. I think they're called bands or
Right.
ribbons. I'm not sure.
I
Ribbons, I
thought
believe.
about doing it, but I thought, no, it's not going to be for me.
I tried the hula hoop. They made it look really easy. It wasn't.
The screaming laughter was Michael in the booth looking at it. No, Rick wouldn't have made it up there. Okay. Amanda, and there's another, I mean, we could mention so many people.
We
Amanda
can.
Whittemore.
Yes.
Wow.
We have to shout out. And I need to say, I'm really committed to bringing our audience back to downtown Brookings. I love the festivals in the port in the summer, and I think they work so well. And Bruce Ellis and Christy, they run those festivals.
That's
I'm-
right.
they're just amazing.
More people to talk
they
about.
do.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
downtown kind of loses a little love during the summer. And so, we have the Azalea Festival, and folks are here for the Azalea Festival downtown.
Pirate Festival.
But they're down in the port.
That's right. Okay.
And
right.
so
not
the
Brookings.
goal with the film festival was to bring the audience back
Downtown
downtown
Brookings.
and give
Okay.
our downtown merchants some love.
Okay.
And I think we're doing that.
I think we are too. In fact, our 4 happy hours were hosted right here in town. 3 of them were hosted by local art galleries.
Nice.
Manly, Brian Scott, and
Semi-aquatic.
yes, Semi-Aquatic. And they did a beautiful job with hosting those. And the party goers were very complimentary, really enjoyed that. It really classes it up, too.
Oh, man. You bet. You bet. Okay, it is. We are halfway through. I'm going to do my little halfway shout out. I'd like to remind our listeners that you're listening to KCIW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. We are an all-volunteer community radio station. If you'd like to be a part of KCIW as a volunteer, whether you would like to help out with a donation, assist us with technical skills, or even host your own radio program, please visit our website at kciw.org and click Get Involved. We'd love to have you as part of the KCIW team. Thank you. And back to, you talked about this area, Brookings, and I remember talking to various people, Dan Springen, for one, about this, and I'm going to expand, not just Brookings, this whole Wild Rivers ocean area from Port Orford to Klamath. It's magical. I think it draws in so many people. And I know that Dan has talked a few times about, boy, maybe I could live here and leave Orlando. I don't know. I'm putting words in Dan's mouth. Sorry, buddy. But it is. It's a special area up here.
When we talk about filmmakers coming, part of the beauty of our area is that whatever you're looking for to maybe shoot your film, if you wanted ocean, mountain, rivers, we've got all of it right here.
The flora and fauna that go along with it, it's amazing.
It absolutely is.
It is amazing.
And oftentimes, they're surprised when they get here and they say things like, this is a perfect place for my next movie.
Yeah. I mean, and of course I think about when you mentioned you took the people from the small town Nutcracker back to Orlando.
Yes.
In costume. I just remember them. I felt sorry. Well, the little girls who were on the beach here doing that, I thought, man, that had to be chilly out there.
Oh, it was. It was chilly that day.
And I talked to Sue. Oh, God. Sky Sue's right next to me. Sky Marie McDonald. Thank you. Michael has to help me out today. About that scene, that was one heck of a deal to get through.
That one had to be reshot a few times.
Right.
I think we actually planned it 4 or 5 times. The first time was in December, and we caught this because the tide had to be right and the waves couldn't be too high. And it had to be a day when the kids could actually be there. They weren't in school and the parents weren't out of town. And so we had this one day in December where everything came together. And then, the days are a little shorter in December, and the sun started setting. It wasn't too bad, but the sun started setting, and it's beautiful, but it causes the colors to change too rapidly, and so then it didn't work in terms of the cinematography. So then we had to keep looking for a day that the tide is right, and the kids are out of school, and the parents are in town. And the waves are too high. We have those rogue waves, and we can't have the kids on the beach.
Right.
With the potential for a rogue wave. So it actually was June before. And then we were down there another day, and it was too windy. I mean, it was blowing a hurricane.
Here on the coast, we have to put up with it. You can never plan.
And so it was June before we caught another day. And it was one of those cool June days when the wind was pretty brisk, and Sky got out there and she said, okay, girls, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to, do this if you want to. I'm not, this is all up to you. Yeah. And those girls are such troopers, and they got out there, and that scene with the snowflakes is so beautiful.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It is.
Golly.
And
that whole
Bev's
movie.
granddaughter is Danny's part of that.
She is. I was just going to say, making that whole movie was a big experience for all of us. I think when the idea first was presented, it was during COVID, and the kids had been struggling with trying to do Zoom calls for their dancing. And Guy said that we maybe could make a movie. I think most of us thought it would be something like a Super 8 or, something done on...
It certainly wasn't that.
No. Maybe some footage on cell phones or something. And when we were in Orlando, that was the first time that I ever saw a really polished up version. And I couldn't believe that was our film.
Wasn't it amazing to see it on the big screen for the first time and go, oh my God, we did it.
That was us.
That is cool. That's one heck of a story, man.
And so we know how the filmmakers, we had a number of premieres this year. So this was the first time these filmmakers had seen their film up on the big screen. And we know personally what that feels like to see your film. You've seen it on your phone, you've seen it on your laptop, you've seen it on your television, but you haven't seen it in a theater yet.
Yeah. And when you hear the sound of it all around you, it's powerful.
It's very powerful. Very powerful. Yeah, it's one heck of an experience for this community. And back to the Small Town Nutcracker, an award winner.
It was an award,
sure.
7 different awards.
7 awards.
Probably more now.
I got even some international awards.
Wow.
So
wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
For Best Director, Best Cinematographer, Dance Award.
Amazing stuff.
It was.
Amazing stuff.
So we wanted to share that experience. It was, just, we couldn't keep quiet. We couldn't just do it and go back to life.
My God,
we had to do a film festival.
Well, I hear the text line going up.
Oh,
I have to keep up with this thing for what little bit here. So let me see here. I got to put my glasses on real quick. Sorry. Text. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing your experiences from being. Oh, I'm reading an old text. Hang on.
Okay.
Here it is. I apologize. I heard that the Small Town Nutcracker story was going to be available for viewing, possibly online. Do you have any idea when and how the public will be able to view this film in the future?
That is a great question. And I can tell you that one of the holdups with the Small Town Nutcracker was that we shot it with the music that Sky Marie McDonald had been using for the Nutcracker performances. And she has a wonderful selection. And because Tchaikovsky the scores are in the public domain, I didn't really think about it. But then it turns out that those orchestral pieces that she used are not in the public domain, and they're really expensive to get the music rights for. We're talking like $2,000 plus a piece for more than a dozen scores. So that was a big holdup for us. We worked with APM out of LA, which is a music catalog, thinking that we could find other pieces that we could fit, but they never fit with the dances we'd already filmed.
Okay.
Quite right. It didn't add to it. So it kind of been on hold. And recently, Robert Mann with Manatee Films helped connect us with
another powerful force,
yes,
right, behind
another
this.
powerful force with a composer who is actually sitting with the dances and the music and composing from the Tchaikovsky scores music that actually fits the dance. So he can get the accents in. And when Sky saw the first demo, she said, "Oh, that's better than the original."
Oh, how cool.
So we're excited. David should finish with that fairly soon. And so we'll be over another hurdle. Eventually, we want to get it to a distributor, and Manatee Films has offered to help us get it to a distributor. So you'll be able to find it on a streaming service at some point.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Now, again, I'm almost afraid to mention the text number, but we're getting so many, but that's good. No, please text in 541-661-4098. Well, and not to focus right now maybe on Nutcracker real quick, but Bev, you brought up a point, right? That was also during, boy, did COVID change everything in the world for a while.
It did.
But you guys got through that and had a very wonderful end product.
Mm-hmm. We did.
With that. Yeah. So a lot of heavy handwork behind the scenes on that, I'm assuming.
There was just so much work from the dancers. We had girls as young as, I think, 4 years old were in that.
It's amazing watching those little girls.
Then we had the young teenagers in it.
Yeah.
They were really dedicated because if you've ever watched a film in progress, there's a whole lot of hurry up and wait. Mm-hmm. And scene
would... Like the military.
A scene gets shot, and these dancers are used to dancing the entire scene, the whole...
Right.
The whole bit. And they would maybe get 2 or 3 steps in, and then it'd be a cut. Do it again. And they do it like 3 and 4 times. And for kids, that was a big deal to keep on doing things. And they would feel like, how many times do you have to see? How many times do you have to film it?
Right. I was privy a little bit to the, I almost said Sue again, Sky Marie put on a great Alice in Wonderland
Oh my goodness, that was
production.
fabulous. Yeah.
Oh, my mind was blown by the amount. I was there for a couple of the rehearsals, and my feeling was, it was kind of a joke, but it wasn't. I thought, man, I worked my career for the railroad, and I thought that was hard work. Nothing compared to what those people had to deal with.
Yes.
With the costumes and the food between and the trying to get the little kids to, like you said, Bev, go through whatever they had to go through. And it was amazing to me.
Yes.
I had never seen the hard work that goes beyond a production like that.
You narrated for
I was lucky enough to be able to do that. It was one heck of an experience for me. Fantastic.
We have such wonderful arts folks here in this area, and they're so supportive of our creative youth.
And that's
that's
wonderful.
They have
True.
my heart for that.
You bet. You bet. And like you said, there's so much of it around.
There is. And when we talk about, the support for our youth, it's definitely there with the film festival.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible when you see what the kids are able to do on their own. I think you probably saw the commercial this year, Progressive.
That was one of
Flo
my
was a teenager.
favorites. That was funny. And yeah, everybody did a wonderful job. Those kids were great.
They were terrific in that. But they do
And they showed it
things
this year a little bit.
that are, you would not expect that kind of quality from first-time kids shooting something. But it's amazing what they can do and how eager they are to learn. So not only is this school near and dear to our hearts, but there's a whole lot of other educational things that we do. With the film festival itself, 3 of the mornings we offered an opportunity for seasoned filmmakers or even, those just starting out to actually go and have a networking opportunity and talk about pre-production, production, and post-production over a 3-day period. And we were fortunate Michael filmed that for us. But, that's folks in our area don't get those kind of opportunities.
Right.
But here it was in our own backyard, and they were able to go free of charge.
Well, again, a lot of amazing stuff happened, and I might have backed other people. Michael, his van around town is very noticeable. No matter what time, I could have gone through town at 4 and probably seen his van.
We gotta do a great shout out for Michael because
Yes,
he
we
volunteers
do.
so much time and energy, brings his own equipment. He makes
You
us look
bet.
good.
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's our sound engineer today, thank heavens.
Thank you, Michael.
And has corrected me a couple times, which is what I needed.
I also want to shout out Elisa Green with the Green Team.
Oh, please do. So many people.
Who wrote our grants for us this year. And the only way that we can provide the workshops or we can host the film festival is through and keep the past prices reasonable is through support from both our the foundations that support us and our sponsors who support us and our Founders Circle.
Yes.
So
I was gonna. Yeah, I had that down. Let's
Yes.
go ahead and talk about the Founders Circle,
yes.
if you'd like to. I don't know if you could mention. That's
we can mention it, of course.
well, all the people in there, but whatever. You go ahead about the Founders.
Well, what the Founders Circle is it was new last year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We wanted an opportunity to give people who were passionate another way to contribute and to have their voices heard too, because many of them have ideas and things that can make us better at what we do. And so we came up with the Founders Circle, and we have an opportunity for you to pay a sponsor fee and get your name known out there. We recognize our big grant donors, but we didn't have a way to recognize the average person who's here who maybe isn't a business person, but they wanted to donate. So it's a $1,000 donation that gets made every year, and it allows us to count on that money ahead of time. It's not like a sponsorship that you have to go get it each year. This is money that's being committed to us. And so it helps us with our planning. It helps us take on new endeavors. And it's a great opportunity to get that group together 2, 3, 4 times a year and just find out what's on their mind. And Sue, you could probably talk to some of the things we've done.
Special events for a Founders Circle. One of the things we did this year, just recently, was that we had a private screening of Robert Mann's new film, Kissing Raindrops.
Raindrops. Kissing Raindrops.
Yes.
Okay.
He wasn't ready to screen it at the festival in a public way, but he brought it as a private screening so that our Founders Circle members could provide feedback on this absolutely incredible film that just gets your heart.
And when will that be available? Or do we know?
He's planning to submit it to some of the bigger, premiere it at some of the bigger film festivals. So next year.
Next year.
The plan is to screen it at Wild Rivers Film Festival next year.
Okay.
But that was one of the things that we could do for our Founders Circle. And
our big Founders Circle push for next year will happen in September of this year.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be a party. We're going to invite all of our founders to bring a friend who's interested in supporting us.
Well, and there again, if you don't mind me, how do you probably do know how many are in the Founders Circle? Or roughly?
We're around 15 now, and we'd like to
nice
double that.
Number.
So the goal for us is to be sustainable and to keep our pass prices reasonable for the community, because we're not Portland or Seattle or Austin. South by Southwest in Austin, those passes are now about $2,500 for their film festival. In the Pacific Northwest, most of the film festivals, you'd have to go to Ashland or Bend or Portland or Seattle. They start at $700 to $1,000 for a pass, just a festival pass. And then some of them you have to pay for the films at the door. So our 3-day festival pass is only $50. You can see every film we show over the 3 days for $50, which I think is really reasonable.
Oh, for sure. You mentioned that we're not Portland or the bigger cities. I wonder if this would be the smallest city with a film festival.
I don't know if it's the smallest, because there's, it's like Mammoth Lake and Park City, which hosted Sundance until this year, is not very big either.
I would assume we're on the lower end, though.
Yes, we're on the smaller end, definitely on the smaller end.
Okay. Another text I will read. Thank you. It says, this is a different phone that I'm used to. So, Brookings is such a wonderful town with wonderful people. Yes. It's incredible that with a smaller population, there are so many talented people in the surrounding area. I love the community support. So thank you for that. Yes, we agree.
We do. Thank you for the compliment.
You bet. Well, I mentioned my favorite. Taming the Mouth. I'm 74, so that happens. But
it was a lot of films.
There was a lot of films. So if you both want to maybe say one or two of your favorites.
Well, I just want to talk a minute about the film that got Best Picture and Best Documentary both, and to let our community know that the awards, like Best Picture, Best Short, Best Documentary, Elmo, those were all generated by our audience voting. So it was our community who decided those awards.
Right. I remember coming out of the theater.
Yes. So you had your ballot,
and
everybody who was managing the theaters bugged our audience about being sure to tear your ballot and turn it in.
Hey.
Yes.
So thank you, everyone, for doing that. But your choice, the audience choice, was Seeds of Peace. And that documentary is about a survivor of Nagasaki who then immigrated to the U.S. and she's lived in the Ashland area for a long time. She returned, and so part of that film is about the fact that there is this mother tree in Nagasaki that they thought everything was dead, and within months this tree is leafing out again, and then it created seeds. And so they're collecting the seeds from that tree, and she's brought them back. And the filmmaker is a historian and a botanist, and he helped propagate those seeds. And now they're planting these peace trees all over Oregon.
We talked a little bit about that before, and that's almost tear-inducing
Yes.
to hear something that was so horrific
Yes.
for those people, and that something might be positive. Something positive can come out from that.
So they have ginkgo trees and persimmon trees that they're planting. And I think that we're absolutely the right community for a peace tree, because we
me
have
too.
the story of the
Yes.
bomb that was dropped here. And then that Japanese aviator who dropped the bomb here came back and gave this community his family's samurai sword, which is in the library.
That's right. That's
And so we have Brookings is the only community, only area in the country that was bombed,
bombed. That's right.
continental U.S.
Yes,
that was
yes, yes.
bombed during World War II. And so we have this history of, we actually had a film called Act of War, Mission of Peace, was Jeremy Maupin's Refresh Quest, Season 3. So it will be out soon. People can see it. But Jeremy Maupin came here. His cousin, Paul, lives here. And he actually pursued this history and interviewed Kat Liddell. And we had that film at the festival, too. So I really like the pairing of these two films. I think they
I think so.
really touch our area and take us into a new place about making a difference.
Yeah. And what a hopeful story, again, like you
Yes.
talked about, from something so terrible, something good can come out of that.
Yes.
Yeah. And in this, I can't think of a better area where that would happen.
So
think
I
so,
would like
too.
to see Brookings get a peace tree for the botanical garden.
I think that'd be perfect.
So we should work on that.
How beautiful is that? Yeah.
Yeah. That garden is really coming along. Just in the last few years, it's flourished, and really, I see people working out there all the time. So I know how hard it is to make it as beautiful as it's looking.
You know, here we go. And the volunteers, this is a volunteer
Volunteer.
community.
Yes.
I mean, you know, you guys, KCIW,
The garden club.
the Garden Club, all of that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. We're lucky to have all of that happen.
Our theater groups, Three Penny and Chetco,
Yes.
Pelican Players.
First time I ever saw a live play was here, you know? Well, I take, on a smaller scale, let me say that, other than,
That's pretty cool.
Well, it is. It is. Yeah, sorry. We have one fly that's bugging us here in the studio, but it'll leave soon. Well,
So Bev, what was your favorite?
yes.
Gosh.
Please.
I didn't
know
get to see nearly as many films as I wanted to see.
Nor did I. Yeah.
Of course, I definitely liked the 100-Year Effect.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite. But one that made me think a lot was the bend. I think it was the bend in the river. That one was very deep, I thought. On the surface, you might not feel that way, but it went through this group of people, their lives. So as carefree teenagers who were on the Colorado River, and they were trying hard not to make a big footprint or destroy anything that was beautiful, and they had hopes and dreams. And then it kind of took you to today, and those people are about my age, so you're talking mid-70s. And it was powerful because they were looking back on their lives, and they were saying, you know, did I accomplish what I thought I was going to accomplish as that 17-year-old, that 18-year-old?
I think we can all look back and wonder
Yes.
about all of that.
And I just thought that it was very powerful, and I don't want to give away the ending to people who might want to see that. It was a good film, and I walked out doing a lot of soul searching of my own.
Yeah.
It was very reflective.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, that's just wonderful stuff. The Seeds of Peace, will that be shown at the library?
I would love to see us show Seeds of Peace partnered with Active War Mission of Peace at one of our first Saturday showings.
There's a possibility that
Yes.
could happen, boy,
Now,
because I really
Of course, we
want.
have to reach out to the filmmakers and make
Okay.
sure we have their permission to show it as
Well-
an extension of the film festival. But I don't think I've had any filmmakers say, no, you can't
God,
do that.
I certainly wouldn't think so.
No, they're pretty supportive of
Yes.
us.
Oh, God.
And I have to say that the group that was just here, every single group we've ever had, but this particular group was super complimentary. They compared us to Sundance.
Oh my goodness, I didn't see that, but that's exciting.
High praise, I would assume.
It was high praise. They said that we were extremely organized. They felt that we held their hand from the moment their film was accepted.
We have to give a shout out to Sarah Dodson,
Oh,
who was
we
our
do.
VIP coordinator.
Oh, again,
She
she's
did
been
a
on our
most
show.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Amazing lady.
And Kirsten
Amazing lady.
Lane and Joey Mason who
Yes.
did the events and organized the events.
All of them, because the environment that was created in that pocket park was just perfect for the filmmakers to sit and talk about things. And they felt like everybody here took a personal interest in their film and them in particular.
Yeah.
It was also I think one of the first years we've had screenplays submitted,
It was the second year, but this is the first year that we had,
an award category for it.
that we had more than just a handful.
Yeah. So it was a really big step for us, I think, in our growth as a film festival.
Yeah.
I would like to see us continue to be a filmmakers film festival. So
I agree.
that we're supporting the filmmakers and growing filmmakers.
It certainly seems to be going that direction.
And everybody said they can't wait to come back again.
That's just great.
And several of our filmmakers actually have quite a bit of other work that they haven't brought out yet. So that's kind of cool, too.
That is kind of cool. Real cool. Well, look, we are running out of time. We got a little
How
over
is that
6 minutes. I
possible,
don't know.
Rick?
Let's go for another hour. Michael could stay. I wish we could. But I want to, Sue, we got to talk about your book.
Oh, that I have another project
So
in the
please,
works now. This is Crazy Lady. So I retire from academics, make a movie, start a film festival, and now I'm almost finished with a book project that's a memoir that looks back on my growing up and how I ended up in the university and then as a professor. But it's largely designed to be a workbook to recreate safe spaces for diversity and authenticity, and to take that, to look at systems and create activism through that. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at doing book tours next spring. So
That's
the
gonna
book
be
will be out
exciting.
in March.
Well,
And
I have to have an author that's on a book tour can be on the
I
Curry
know.
Café.
yes, please
We'll have
invite
to
me
film it.
back. My first talk will be with the Southern Oregon Writers Conference in February here at SWAC.
Wow.
And from there, I'm hoping to do a book tour from Ashland to Bellingham.
So exciting.
That's
Yes,
very
it's going to be
exciting.
very
It
exciting.
is.
So
And so when did you start this project? How long ago?
I started it.
20, 30 years?
No, I started it about 6 months ago. I was
You're
inspired.
kidding me.
No, well, it's been rolling around in my head for a long time.
Okay.
I taught sociology of the family and sociology of gender and children's studies for about 30 years. And so these things are, they're not new. They're rolling around in my head.
Well, sure.
But I was inspired by Joni Lindenmeyer and
Yet another person.
yes,
Yes.
Wowzer.
Yes.
Wowzer.
and Coral Anderson, who's been teaching nonfiction writing at SWAC. And then at the Southern Oregon Writers Conference this last spring, it all just seemed to gel. And I'm working with Two Sisters Publishing and Elizabeth Atkins. And it's just come together kind
Meant
of
to
easily.
be. You're a mover and a shaker.
So we'll see. This is the next iteration.
That's pretty exciting now. And so it's due to be published?
It's due to come out in March. So it's on Two Sisters website.
Very soon.
You can pre-order it.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Sign me up.
Yep. Yep. Great news. Great news. Well, okay, we're getting down there. If any parting shots that either one of you want to make about, maybe this is way too early, but how about some maybe projects for even next year? Is it way too early to think about that, or is anything on the horizon?
Well, we do have the VFW program.
yeah.
So we could talk a little about that.
Well, sure.
Mike Hamilton approached us to see if we could partner a little bit with them at the VFW and show films that would be relevant to veterans in our area. So we're going to start off on a quarterly basis, and he's going to be able to show some of our films. And as long as our filmmakers can, some of them have already said they'll come up here and be part of that.
Wow.
So that would be very cool.
Yeah. And I'm assuming there was a veteran or two that were doing the
There
few
were a
awards
couple, yes.
ceremony there. Yeah.
There absolutely were. So we can look forward to that happening.
Okay.
We've also got the school that I think we mentioned earlier before we were on the air. We're looking at when would be a good time to do that for this year. Is it fall? Is it over one of the holidays? Should we move it into spring? Because we had a lot of conflicts with schedules over the summer. That was schedules with what our young people who would come to the school, our school, would have with their sports and different things that were going on in the community this summer.
You were talking about it. That's a lot of activity to try to fit everything in.
Yes, it really is.
But you all did it, as far as I could see. Michael and I were talking a little before the show too. I said, I wonder how many hours, if everybody could put their hours in on the total time that you all took to get this thing successfully done, insurmountable.
It's like
I
a
can
part-time
tell
job.
you that in June, when I was logging my hours, I logged over 100 hours for June.
And 173 is a full-time job.
Wow.
So it is a lot of hours.
Yeah. A lot of hours, a lot of work.
And when you think, well, I'll dedicate my 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It doesn't work that way.
I didn't think so.
Because you can wake up at 3 a.m. and think, oh, this is a great idea. Let me share this with the whole team.
Been there for sure. Well, okay. Unfortunately, we are down to the last minute. I want to thank both of you. Boy, you made my job without my radio sensei, as I call him, Ray Gary. First time he's missed a show. Miss you, Ray. We'll hopefully get back next week. And again, thank you, Sue Wright, Bev Juday. The Wild Rivers Film Festival is just a wonderful part of our community. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
We hope to continue it into the future for years
I'm
to come.
sure it will.
Absolutely.
Sure it will. Okay, y'all. You will listen to KCIW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. And again, thanks to the Wild Rivers Film Festival for a wonderful show this past week or so. All right. Adios.